Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, quite a number of things have happened. We had Deku. We also had Clark and Kara. Now, Deku, Clark, and Kara faced off against Doomsday, a threat that will constantly adapt to whatever killed it, and can never really stay dead. Now, Doomsday, he showed exactly how far his power goes. He was able to overpower the Kryptonians, and that says quite a bit. Superman, he was a bit too soon to let the battle be over. He was unprepared. He thought the moment Deku blasted Doomsday's head off with a combination attack and frost breath, that Doomsday stayed dead, but he didn't. And Clark, he got a spike directly to the heart. Now, with that being said, Deku, him and Kara, they began the grieving process. There's a chance that Clark, while he is still technically alive, he still might die. Right now they're working on him to the best of their capabilities in the Fortress of Solitude. Clark's robots. Right now, Kryptonian technology, it still might have a chance to save his life. But, that's just the thing. His body needs the sun. And right now, Deku, he's been put into a position he's thought he would never have before. He, right now, is taking up the mantle of Superman. Now, obviously Clark isn't going to put on the suit and do that. Right now, Deku, he has his own family crest. Right now, he does make one slight change though. Now, Deku, whenever he does start to patrol around Metropolis, a lot of people do notice the difference. And people start to report on this other Kryptonian. Many people have started to call him the new Superman. And others, whenever they try and actually get his name, he does just tell them, he's Duville Zod. Or you can just call him Zod. Now, a lot of people, they started to ask questions. And they were actually a bit more surprised. Deku was a lot more willing to answer them. However, when it comes to other certain things like how did he arrive and who is the Supergirl, Deku, he gave them all stricter guidelines to follow. And many of them, they got their interview with an alien. That looks so good on a resume. Now, with that, there actually was Deku, who, right now, him and Kara, they do meet up. And the two, they currently are sitting in a booth, as Deku does at least get a few glances at him. And right now, Deku does try and tell Kara, as he does hold up a fork with a piece of meat on it, that's just the thing. What is? Well, you see, how do I put this? It's the combat experience for me. What do you mean? I learned how to fight using my powers. I mean, you're still developing powers, aren't you? I mean, you learned about the heat vision, the frost breath, the strength, reflexes, how to perceive faster. Yeah. So, is there something I'm missing? There's a lot that you're missing. um, how do I put this? You haven't discovered how to see through walls yet, have you? What? No, don't be ridiculous. Is that what we can do? Not just walls. Okay. What are you implying? The only thing that we can't see through is lead. Only thing? Mm-hmm. It's very dense. So, um, it seems like you and lead have a few things in common, Kara. We have X-ray vision. Mm-hmm. Now, Kara will go to bring her hands up and tell Izuku. Has he used it before? To which Deku would explain, only on missions. Besides, he'd rather check to see if somebody is carrying a gun than look at the other things. Now, Supergirl just stare at Deku before she actually would turn to somebody and go to squint. And right now Deku would try and tell her she has to focus better. Now, Kara would go to do so before going to bring her hands up to cover her eyes, before realizing that she can see directly through her own hands. Now, Deku does see that, and right now he does get someone smile. Before he does actually going to turn and go to bring his hands up. Him going to open the window before going to fly out of it. Now, Kara would actually going to turn back. And right now she actually will go to bring her hands down and grab one of her fries. Before Deku, he will come back and tell her, sorry about that. Jewelry shop, 12 blocks away? Right. But shouldn't we actually be out there doing something? We are doing something. Besides, it's better than doing all that other weird crap they want us to do. Now, Kara is at least going to talk about it. Hasn't he heard? They're trying to get them enrolled into that high school thing. Yes. The human educational process. Yeah. Not gonna lie, some of the stuff I heard that they're gonna be going over, I think we've already learned on Krypton. You have? Yeah. In fact, I'm curious. Your records, do they tell when you landed here? Or anything else, really? Well, that's a bit of a hard one to answer. Um, Hang on. Now, Deku, he just tried to think. And right now he's going through it in his mind. He's trying to recall everything he has given Clark from his own personal records. And right now he actually going to talk about how there's something though that he has forgotten about. Now, Deku tried to explain it to Kara. Right now, the one thing that he really is missing is something about what was the subject? It's so weird. He's only missing one thing from his records that he didn't give Clark. Now, Kara is confused, and Deku is trying to explain. As when he does get open his mouth, there actually is where he does hear something. Him turning his head, asking Kara if she wants to get this or sit there and finish her food. And she actually does not turn to look out the window, going to squint her eyes, as right now she actually going to undo that and go to look back towards Deku, asking about if they can, and Deku would just say yeah. Now, the two are both going to fly away, and right now they do actually encounter a villain. I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's not Metallo. No. It's the guy with the flaming atomic skull, I think. Now, right now these two do encounter Atomic Skull. And right now, whenever Deku, he does come flying in, he actually would go to blast him with heat vision. Before whenever Atomic Skull does try to throw out his hand to blast at Deku, the moment he does, Deku is going to bring his hands backwards and thunderclap directly at him. Now, the flames do go to disperse. And right now, Deku, he actually will go to have Kara jump in. And Kara right now would actually go to fly in and go to freeze breath him. As where he is captured, they do start to wait for the authorities. And right now, Deku, he does get this man turned in. Now, as that actually has happened, we do have where somebody they do come flying down. And they do express how he was hoping he can catch the two here. And Deku just stare up to see Lex Luthor in a super suit that's not green. Weird. Now, Kara would go to look at Luthor. And right now, she's angry, talking about how he cannot wear the symbol of the House of L. And right now, Luthor, he'll get to talk about it. Why not? Now, Deku will get to turn and express to Luthor that is not his symbol. And Luthor is going to stare directly at Deku, as Kara is going to express to him that is a family sigil. It is important. Right now, it is property of the House of L, and he cannot use it for his nefarious purposes. Her cousin has told her a lot about him. And Deku would express, it's more than that. That man, he's practically the devil. And he's willing to do whatever he wants to win. Even if it means killing his own self. Now, Luthor will go to express, he's not entirely wrong. But right now he wants to try and help. Turn over a new leaf. Right now, he wants to try and help because Superman is dead. Now, Deku is going to listen to Luthor's heartbeat, and he's waiting for it to fluctuate. Luthor clearly is nervous. Increased vocal sensitivity. Heart rate's good. Eyes haven't dilated. Now, Deku is focusing on Luthor, as he's going to ask him a question. Why does he want to be better? As Luthor just tried to talk about it, he wants to make the world a better place. And trying to do that by himself would be a challenge. So he does want to introduce them to not only himself, but somebody else. Now, Deku, he will get a look around. As right now from behind Luthor, there actually walk somebody else. And he's intrigued. As they do wear a different color suit and the House of L? Now, they're going to stare at Superboy. And right now he does look around and stare at Deku. Now, Deku's mind is surprised. Another Kryptonian. But they didn't hear another crash. How is this possible? Now, Deku would stare at Luthor before asking, he cloned Kal-El? Now, Kara is surprised. And right now Deku, he's a bit angry. Before he does get a step forwards, telling Luthor, Kryptonian cloning was banned for reasons. Right now what Luthor has done, it is bad. Now, Deku does get a step forwards. And right now he's angry. Very angry. And so is Kara. This is a mockery of her cousin. This thing, it might look like him, but it is not him. Now, Deku actually rushes towards Luthor. And Luthor, whenever Deku is going to grab him, he does get thrown over Deku's shoulder. Now, whenever Luthor does go to hit the ground, there is where Deku, he does go flying towards him. And right now Luthor, he does go on the offense. As him and Deku, they do start to trade blows. And Deku actually is impressed. His arsenal, it's good. It is advanced. But his toys, they cost money. Well, he's all natural. Now, Deku, whenever Luthor does get a punch him, he actually does not try to block it. And right now Luthor, he does find something interesting. As right now after going to punch Deku across the face, Deku, he does go to look back towards Luthor. And go to bring his hand upwards, smashing directly into Luthor's gut, and going to break some of his armor. Now, Luthor, he's caught off guard. And right now Deku will go to bring his hand up and tear this symbol directly off, before going to crush the metal plate and tell him, if he puts that symbol on again, he's going to make him angry. If he puts that symbol on his chest again, he is mocking not only the House of L, not only Superman, but he is mocking Duville Zod. Does he make himself clear? Now, Deku does hold on to Luthor. And Luthor right now, his suit, something's malfunctioning. And Deku does express to him, If he does piss him off in any way, if he makes another goddamn clone after that one is disposed of, things will get worse for him. If he gets in his way, things will be a whole lot worse. Now, Luthor actually doesn't want smile before expressing, and how could he make things worse? And Deku would tell him, try him. See what he'll do. He'll fly him into the goddamn sun and hold him there. Just let him know when. Now, Luthor is actually a bit intimidated. This isn't Superman. This is an actual... No. Now, Luthor, he does get to deploy it. As right now he does spray Deku with red kryptonite gas. Now, with that being said, Deku, he does actually inhale the gas. And right now, things feel off. Deku, after he does land and hit the ground, he does actually feel different. And right now he actually is still sucking in air. As right now there is one for his eyes, they glow red. And then he does get to sit up and look around. And Luthor, he actually does go to get back up as well. As right now he actually is going to check and make sure that his suit, it still is functional. Before we're going to tell Deville, not Kal-El, that he's going to be going now. And he's going to be trying working for the side of justice. Now, Lex is going to fly away. And right now for Deku, he does go to stand back up. And Supergirl just comes flying over. She just asks him if he's okay. To which Deku would actually want to turn and smile at her, talking about how he's fine. But then again, he did take that symbol from him. Though, he did miss something. What did he miss? I'd missed a lot. Then again, I might have to go over a few other things. Now, Deku does get a turn. And right now Supergirl, she's kind of confused. As Deku, he does head back to the hideout. Now, when that does actually happen, Deku, he does walk in and everybody, they do go to see him. As right now Deku, whenever he does walk into the kitchen, he does go to open the fridge, pop a soda, and then go to start drinking it. And there actually was Beast Boy, who will go to see Deku chug down the entire soda, before he just does decide to do one thing. He bites into the can as if it's an apple, and then he goes to swallow the metal. And Beast Boy just stares at Deku. As Deku just stares at him for talking about how, what? He could do that if he wanted to. He could chew on the knives too. Now, Beast Boy, he does actually ask Deku, did he... Yup. Want to see me do it again? Now, there actually is about 10 minutes later, where currently Batman, he did teleport in. He heard about what was going on in Metropolis, and he wanted to talk to Deku because he just talked to Lex Luthor. However, right now, whenever he does walk into the room, he does go to look around to see that a lot of people are in the kitchen. And right now he would go to walk over to see Deku, currently drinking, what? Let's just say laundry detergent, as if he was chugging a soda. And right now, Batman would ask exactly what is he doing? To which everybody, they would stop cheering, and right now Kid Flash would go to run off. As there actually is everybody else, who does somewhat scurry around like rats. Now, Deku, he does go to express to Batman. He was just making a few friends. Besides, he wanted to show them this funny trick. I mean, it's going to take a second, but let him get his super breath ready. Now, Batman is staring at Deku. As right now, Deku, he does look at Batman. And the man is angry. But then again, this is different. New, maybe. Okay. Maybe Duville's actually trying to be different. Okay. The kid's trained and he's smart. Then again, he's going to keep an eye on him. Now, Batman, he's a bit worried. With Superman still in hiding, Duville's been basically handed the rule of the strongest man on the planet. And right now, that guy, that boy really, he is, well, not ready for it. Izuku, he's not a good man. But right now, he's trying to do something. Granted, he's going about it the wrong way, but hey, the first step isn't always the right one. Now, with that, there actually is Deku, who he does seem to be very friendly. And a lot of people would start to notice this. His dark and edgy personality, it's, well, what's the best way of saying it? It's not there anymore. It's in the background, maybe, or maybe he just decided to shelf it. Now, Deku, he currently is relaxing and sitting on the couch. As a few people, they're actually kind of confused as to what he's doing. And Deku would actually go to say, as he'll go to sit up, and he's actually in human clothes, that this movie does suck. Now, everybody they're kind of confused. Before Deku does go to stand up and talk about how he's gonna go get takeout. Now, Deku go to fly away, and right after he does go to bolt out of the room and fly, he does come back a few minutes later. And right now, everybody they do is stare at him, as Deku, he currently does go sit back down to the couch and eat some noodles. And right now they're confused. Where did he go? Now, Deku would express about what was happening. And right now he does talk about how he's got to rewind though, because he missed something. Now, with that being said, Supergirl, she actually is very confused. And she's actually a bit concerned. Duville, whenever they stopped Lex the other day, he was serious. But then he was different. He tore that symbol off of Lex and he seems to be okay. I mean, yeah, that's sort of weird, but maybe it's just her. Now, we do actually have Deku, who right now, after he does go to jump up, he does going to fly towards the fridge. And whenever Kara is going to see him, she's actually going to look up and ask what he's doing. So right now she's sitting there enjoying a cup of very hot coffee. Now, Deku would express to her, as he currently is still flying in the air, and he is going to open the freezer. Him pulling out a popsicle. As he actually will go to, well, flip his body over, and go to lay on his back. That, right now, he's relaxing. Right now, he's taking a day off. I mean, besides, if anything does happen, he can fight in his PJs and get right back on the couch in a few seconds. So how's that? Now, Supergirl just stare at Deku. And right whenever Deku actually just want to fly down and in front of her, there is where his eyes do glow red. And Deku does ask her, what? Is she jealous? Now, Deku he does actually breathe out. And right now, Supergirl, she's going to inhale. Now, right now she actually does feel some of that red kryptonite. Now, they're actually sort of her eyes, they do go to glow red. And right now the two, they actually do go to stand up. Now, Kara actually would turn, expressing about how maybe they should take a day off. Now, everybody, they're kinda confused. Are these two on the same page? Okay, something is wrong here. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.